Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at the founding of the Roman Republic. Before we begin, just a quick reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. Moving right along. Mythology tells us one thing, while archaeology tells us another. The Roman Republic, Res Publica Romana, was a state of classical Roman civilization run through public representation of the Roman people. The Republic has its beginnings with the overthrow of the Roman kingdom, which tradition dates 509 before the Common Era. Before we move on, we need to take a look at some of the background information. Rome had been ruled by monarchs since its foundation. These monarchs were elected for life by men who made up the Roman Senate. The last monarch was named Lucius Tarquinius Superbus. He was locally known as Tarquin the Proud. In traditional histories, Tarquin was expelled from Rome in 509 before the Common Era because his son Sextus raped a noblewoman by the name of Lucretia, who afterwards took her own life. The husband of Lucretia and his supporters mustered enough support from the Senate and the Roman army to have the former monarch forced into exile and sent him to Etruria. Tarquin did make several attempts to retake the throne, yet none succeeded. After the abolishment of Tarquin, the Senate also agreed to abolish kingship. In turn, most of the functions of the former king were transferred to two separate consuls. These consuls were elected to a term of office for 1 year. Each was capable of acting as a check on his colleague if necessary through the power of veto that the former kings had also held. Furthermore, if a consul was to abuse his power in office, he could be prosecuted when his term expired. According to Rome's traditional histories, the first Republican wars were wars of both expansion and defense aimed at protecting Rome itself from neighboring cities and nations and establishing its territory within the region. Initially, Rome's immediate neighbors were Latin towns and villages, or else tribal Sabines from the Apennines and beyond. One by one, Rome defeated the Latin cities in several battles. Eventually, Rome had effectively completed the conquest of their immediate Etruscan and Latin neighbors, and also secured their position against the immediate threat posed by nearby Apennine Hill tribes. Throughout the history of the Republic, Rome's patrician aristocrats were the dominant force in both politics and society. They initially formed a closed group of about 50 large families called gentes, who monopolized Rome's magistrates, state priesthoods, and senior military posts. The power, privilege, and influence of the leading families derived from their wealth, in particular their land holdings, and their position as patrons and their numerous clients. The vast majority of Roman citizens were commoners of various social degrees. They formed the backbone of Rome's economy as smallholding farmers, managers, artisans, traders, and tenants. In times of war, they could be summoned for military service. Most had little direct political influence over the Senate's decisions or laws it passed. They also had no say in the abolition of the monarchy and the creation of a consular system. During the Republic, the plebeians did emerge as a self-organized, culturally distinct group of commoners with their own internal hierarchy, laws, customs, and interests. Plebeians had no access to high religious and civil office. Plebs could be punished for offenses against laws of which they had no knowledge. For the poorest, one of the few effective political tools was their withdrawal of labor and services. This was known as cessatio plebis. In protest, they would leave the city en masse and follow their social superiors to fend for themselves. The question that is commonly asked is how exactly did one acquire Roman citizenship? The simple answer is that citizenship was granted at birth. However, there were conditions. Both parents were required to be cives, which translated as citizens of Rome. Oftentimes, one parent, usually the mother, might be a peregrinus, which means alien. Another condition was connubium, the right to contract by a Roman marriage. Otherwise, could be granted by the people and later by generals. With regard to the military, Rome's soldiers seem to have been modeled after the Etruscan army. It is also interesting to point out that the Etruscan army was molded after the Greeks and copied their style of warfare. Traditionally, the introduction of the phalanx formation in the Roman army is ascribed to Servius Tullius. The front rank was composed of the wealthiest citizens who were able to purchase the best equipment. Each subsequent rank consisted of those with less wealth and poorer equipment. The phalanx was effective in large open spaces, but not on hilly terrain. The Romans replaced it with a more flexible manipular formation called the legion. The legion is often attributed to Marcus Furius Camillus. However, another school of thought is that it was copied from Rome's Samnite enemies following the Second Samnite War. This brings us to the end of the founding of the Roman Republic. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Traveler's Tales. Just a reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. For your convenience, we have also posted our email address and Instagram information. We enjoy hearing from our subscribers. Don't hesitate to contact us with any questions or comments you may have. If you haven't subscribed to Traveler's Tales, please do. This really is the best way to help our channel grow. Traveler's Tales will return with part 2 of the founding of the Roman Republic. Until we meet again at the crossroads of folklore and fact, Cartistos.